The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. All warfare is based on deception. Appear weak when you are strong and strong when you are weak. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. The wise warrior avoids the battle. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder and crush him. All men can see the tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. Attack him where he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected. The general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance. If quick I survive, if not quick I am lost. This is death. When strong, avoid them. If of high morale, depress them. Seem humble to fill them with conceit. Invincibility lies in the defense, the possibility of victory in the attack. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious. Thus we may know that there are 5 essentials for victory. To fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy and is not moved by him. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your troops. Unless there is something to be gained, fight not, unless the position is critical. Disorder came from order, fear came from courage, weakness came from strength. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works for the general like the stone for the soil. Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. Even the finest sword, plunged into salt water, will eventually rust. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This will diminish his enthusiasm. The proximity of an army causes prices to go up, and high prices cause the people's substance to be drained away. Anger may in time change to gladness. Vexation may be succeeded by content. A kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being. The control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers. If words of command are not clear and distinct, if orders are not thoroughly understood, then the general is to blame. When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. If his forces are united, separate them. When the outlook is bright, bring it before their eyes, but tell them nothing when the situation is gloomy. Do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances. There are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combinations of these 5 give rise to more melodies than can ever be heard. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponent and thereby succeed in winning may be called a heaven-born captain. The enlightened ruler is heedful and the good general full of caution. You can be sure of succeeding in your attacks if you only attack places which are undefended. A clever general, therefore, avoids an army when its spirit is keen, but attacks it when it is sluggish and inclined to return. When torrential water tosses boulders, it is because of its momentum. If our soldiers are not overburdened with money, it is not because they have a distaste for riches. There are 5 dangerous faults which may affect a general. If you are far from the enemy, make him believe you are near. Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Humble words and increased preparations are signs that the enemy is about to advance. Military tactics are like unto water for water in its natural course, runs away from high places and hastens downwards. Thus, what enables the wise sovereign and the good general to strike and conquer is foreknowledge. Therefore, the clever combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will to be imposed on him. All war is deception. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. Secret operations are essential in war. Upon them the army relies to make its every move. Know yourself, and you will win all battles. Begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear, then he will be amenable to your will. In respect of military method, we have firstly, measurement, secondly, estimation of quantity, thirdly, calculation, fourthly, balancing of chances, fifthly, victory. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. Rapidity is the essence of war. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Thus it may be known that the leader of armies is the arbiter of the people's fate. When the enemy's envoys speak in humble terms, but he continues his preparations, he will advance. According as circumstances are favorable, one should modify one's plans. The consummate leader cultivates the moral law and strictly adheres to method and discipline. There are 5 ways of knowing who will win. He who knows the art of the direct and the indirect approach will be victorious. The general who thoroughly understands the advantages that accompany variation of tactics knows how to handle his troops. Numerical weakness comes from having to prepare against possible attacks. If equally matched, we can offer battle. If slightly inferior in numbers, we can avoid the enemy. If quite unequal in every way, we can flee from him. Peace proposals unaccompanied by a sworn covenant indicate a plot. The enemy must not know where I intend to give battle. For to win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. A leader leads by example, not by force. The difficulty of tactical maneuvering consists in turning the devious into the direct and misfortune into gain. Great results can be achieved with small forces. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. An army without its baggage train is lost. Without provisions, it is lost. Without bases of supply, it is lost. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. When you engage in actual fighting, if victory is long in coming, then men's weapons will grow dull, and their ardor will be damped. Can you imagine what I would do if I could do all I can?